Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie. In this video, I want to talk about RJ Barrett's breakout in the playoffs. In 2 games at Madison Square Garden, RJ Barrett is averaging 22.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists after having a really bad start to the NBA playoffs. In games number 1 and 2 in Cleveland, he was the talk of everybody around the Knicks fan base, talking to him in a bad light. Is RJ Barrett going to figure it out? Is RJ Barrett holding this team back? I made a whole video about it. What's wrong with RJ Barrett? But I've been consistent with my take on RJ Barrett throughout his entire career. There's one thing about him that you gotta love, and it's his mindset. Even Jalen Brunson was bringing up his demeanor because he was asked in a press conference after the game. You gotta give RJ Barrett so much credit because it's a lot harder than you think of handling the criticism, handling the entire city going against you when you're struggling, and his ability to push through that mental ability of pushing through adversity, coming out on the other end, staying even keel is big time. So in this video, I want to give you guys my thoughts of RJ Barrett's breakout, what's been going right for him, and what does he need to continue to build upon to make sure that he can stay consistent. Because that's the key to RJ Barrett's game, is consistency. So again, in this video, we're going to break it all down. My apologies, my voice is a little lost because I was at the Knicks game Sunday screaming. And as you guys know, I am also a Jets YouTuber. And yesterday, the Jets landed Aaron Rodgers, so I was live for hours screaming my head off. So my apologies if my voice sounds a little raspy. But before we get into today's video, I do want to mention, if you're new to the channel, do your boy a gigantic favor and simply hit that subscribe button and like the video if you guys enjoy. Also, comment down below your thoughts of RJ Barrett, your biggest impressions of these 2 games at Madison Square Garden to help the New York Knicks get a 3-1 lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers in round number 1. So let's get further into it. Starting off with Game 3 on Friday night, this was one of those games where everybody was looking at RJ saying, this is it, bro. You have to step up. Your entire Knicks career is pretty much on the line if you do not step up. We gave him a big-time contract, a big-time extension, and there's a lot of people that were turning on RJ, and we all knew that if he continued to struggle in games 3 and 4, then we really were having a different conversation. But RJ Barrett answered the bell, and that first quarter in game number 3 was the key to that whole game. The first quarter score was 17-17 after quarter number 1 in game 3. And RJ Barrett had 10 of those 17 points. He was the reason why the Knicks started off strong and were able to cruise by, get the rhythm in that second quarter, and then completely blow the doors off the Cleveland Cavaliers in game number 3. Now, they didn't need RJ to do that much in game 3. He only finished with 19 points on an efficient 8 of 12 from the field. But what the difference with RJ Barrett has been, he's doing what he does best, which is attacking the damn paint and going straight at the rim over and over and over again. That's what RJ Barrett brings. When you're a player like RJ and you can get to your strength, which is attacking the paint at 100% aggression, finding your confidence, that's what it all is. Because we know that RJ has been struggling from downtown, especially throughout the regular season. He shot a low, like 31% from downtown this season in the regular season. But RJ Barrett is at his best when he puts his head down, he attacks the paint, and he goes 110%, getting the and ones, finishing with the right, finishing with the left. That's how he's getting his confidence back. And not to mention, his defense has been great. His rebounding has been great. His length is important, which is why when I heard Stephen A. Smith say, oh, RJ needs to be on the bench this series, some Knicks fans are saying, bench this man, RJ should not be playing. I'm like, guys, RJ is a big reason why this Knicks team is what they were this season. I know that he's not the flashiest player. He's not doing what Jalen Brunson's doing, but he does the dirty work. He's playing good defense. He's pushing the pace. He is getting high-flying opportunities in transition. So an efficient 8 of 12 night, 3 of 6 from downtown for RJ in game number 3 to kind of get him out of the rut. And then game number 4 is when he really exploded and took over the game with Jalen Brunson to lead that Knicks team to a victory over the Cavs in Madison Square Garden in game number 4. He had 26 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a block, 9 of 16 from the field, 0 of 6 from downtown, 8 of 13 from the free throw line. So 0 of 6 from downtown, but RJ Barrett was 9 of 10 from the 2-point range. That tells you that he is absolutely at another level attacking the paint, and that's all he needs to continue to do. When he does get his 3-point jump shot figured out, and he was 3 of 6 in Game 3, in Game 4 he was 0 for 6, so keep shooting your threes. They will fall, but make sure that the aggression stays on that attack in the paint, baby, because I think RJ Barrett is really going to be the reason why this Knicks team goes far in the playoffs. And what I mean by that is just simply moving on to the second round, and we'll see what happens after that. But Julius Randle's struggling offensively. We all get that. Jalen Brunson's the best player in the entire series, comparing the Knicks and the Cavaliers. If RJ Barrett can continue this, that's going to make this Knicks team dangerous. And we still haven't seen Emmanuel quickly step up yet to what we're expecting from him. So if RJ Barrett can continue this, we are in great hands. Now, I know that the issue with RJ Barrett that I alluded to early on in the video has been his consistency. He gets flashes of hot streaks, and then he gets flashes of cold streaks. So this is where RJ Barrett needs to figure out his consistency and also show that he can do this on the road, because the first 2 games was in Cleveland, and he looked really bad. The next 2 games were at MSG. He looked really good. So now we're back in Cleveland on Wednesday night, and he's got to figure it out. Another reason why I think RJ's really starting to figure out his rhythm in the playoffs is because when you're a player like RJ that's really young, this is his first opportunity, not his first, his second opportunity to be in the playoffs, to kind of get an idea of the same exact defense every single game. When you're in the regular season, you're seeing different defensive looks every game because you're versing a new opponent. Well, now the Knicks are versing the same defense every game in the series. So RJ Barrett, and doesn't just talk about RJ, you can say this about every player in the Knicks, they know what to expect from this Cleveland Cavaliers defense. They know the personnel. They know the length down low that he has to figure out with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. He knows the perimeter defense. So he's kind of figuring out the Cleveland Cavaliers and what defenses they're throwing at him. And that's really good kudos to RJ Barrett for adjusting mid-series rather, figuring out the angles that he needs to go on and finding his damn aggression, because that was my biggest issue with him. He looked very complacent. He looked like he couldn't get to his spots, and he couldn't figure out how to get to the cup in games 1 and game 2, and it's so refreshing to see RJ Barrett break out. And also, man, I want to finish off with this. Hearing the Knicks fan base, not even at the Garden only, but at watch parties on Twitter, come together and chant RJ Barrett's name, RJ Barrett, RJ Barrett. I mean, that is so amazing. The fact that this fan base is coming together and serenading our young player that we drafted and extended, a homegrown talent kid like RJ Barrett, is something amazing to watch. Even if you were criticizing RJ in his bad games, which you should, because he was playing poorly, and now he's on the other end and you're cheering on for him, this is the time to really get around RJ, and hopefully he can continue this momentum, because having the whole city and the whole world of Knicks fans cheering on RJ Barrett is something amazing to see, to watch him break out on our home floor in the NBA playoffs. Knicks lead 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We will see what happens tomorrow night. I'll be live today to break down my thoughts of game number 5 if the Knicks can figure out a way to finish it in 5. Hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed the video, and comment down below your thoughts of the RJ Barrett breakout game, 2 games rather, at MSG. Love to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, and let's go Knicks.